So you don't believe the world economy is going to get impacted by this kind of, whatever you call it, reset, trade war, whatever we call it?
I don't think the world economy per se would get impacted. It will get impacted in a very different way. I mean, as I said, there could be some, in the short time, there could be some impact and you see something happening. I think it is not like the war in Ukraine. It is not what's happening in West Asia. This is something where we are talking about trading with each other. It's not about destroying each other. It's about trading with each other. And I think that difference we have to look at and saying that, will this help bring in far more countries working with each other to build a very strong network? I mean, a war doesn't help you do that. A COVID could not help us do that. But this is something very different. So I would not compare what happened in COVID or in the wars with this opening up of trade, which I think President Trump is talking about. This, I think, gives us an opportunity. Unlike, they don't give you an opportunity other than the defense area, it doesn't give you much of an opportunity. But here, I think there's an opportunity to build. What Mr. Trump is doing will actually help us action it. Till now, we have been talking about it. We haven't done much. Now, there is pressure on us to do that. If you help an MSME access technology, if you help MSME access finance, it's not that the MSME can't compete. I mean, the company which I'm talking about, which makes these grinding media balls, is also an MSME. But so it is about finding those products where and getting the access to technology, access to finance. We have the MSME ministry. Every state has an MSME department. But what is it exactly they're doing? Now, they will be under pressure. They will now have to ensure that if employment has to continue, the MSMEs have to get far more finance, easy finance to fund their projects, and more importantly, for access to technology. It is not just about giving them money to go and put up a kind of a show in Dubai or in any other country and say we have these products to sell. I think this will require a far greater way the government will have to now work and say this is how the MSMEs can become far more competitive. And we may have to give up on some MSMEs. Some of the areas of MSME we have to move. I mean, it's very early to say which ones they are. But I think we must focus on ones where we can be competitive. So making from a matchstick to a nuclear reactor may not be something which every country can do. But I think a country like India can afford to do majority of what it is doing.
So would you recommend, given these exceptional circumstances created by the spotlight President Trump has put on tariffs and thereby impacting India, does it make sense for the government to actually come up with a special session or budget or some kind of policy statement which galvanizes all the stakeholders like RBI, banks, who need to move and generate finance, facilitate transfer of technology and all this?
Anil, I don't know about a session, but a policy surely. And I think we need a serious focus at the highest level on MSMEs to ensure, and the ministry has to be given far more weightage than what it is given today. We have to realize that they have to now make things happen there. So the two ministries, one, I think we already have a heavyweight there in agriculture. But I think MSME also we need to bring in at the highest level, we need to bring in people there and ensure that there is a policy which has a clear timeline of by when you want to make them competitive. One thing which we must look at is in the last 3 to 4 years, driven by I think the PMO itself and the Commerce and Industry Ministry and the Consumer Affairs, we have now come up with the quality control orders.